Part of making your book a success is the marketing aspect. After all, you can't expect anybody to read it if they don't know it exists. I'm Mike with WriterSanctuary, and today we're going to be taking a look at the lock screen ads for Amazon's Kindle and Fire tablets. Now, this is actually the first time that I'm setting this up, so we're going to be walking through it together. And unfortunately, I have no idea how well this is going to work, but it is what it is. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at our Kindle Direct Publishing screen. We're going to scroll down to our ebook, and we're going to click on the button that says Promote and Advertise. Then from here, we can set up our KDP Select if you want to do that. I won't do KDP Select for this particular book because I want to submit it to Barnes & Noble. And when you sign up with KDP Select, you are then roped into Amazon as an exclusive book. I don't want to do that with this one. I might do it in the future, but not this time. So we're going to run an ad campaign. We're going to click on the little down arrow here and choose our property. Now, Amazon.com is what we're going to be clicking on. And the ads for the lock screen on Kindle and Fire only work on Amazon.com. So, well, at least that's what Amazon says. So they want to click on Create an Ad Campaign. Okay, from here we can choose to do sponsored products, which I'll probably wind up doing sometime down the road. Sponsored brands. I only have one book, so I don't really see the reason to do that one quite yet. Maybe by the end of the year when I have more published. And we're going to got lock screen ads here, and that's the one we're going to click on. So we're going to hit on Continue. And then from here we start setting up our campaign. Now the first thing we're going to give it is a campaign name. This can be pretty much anything you want. It's just for your tracking information only. So I'm just going to name it my first lock screen ad. Now when setting up your start date, it has to be 2 days into the future. This gives Amazon enough time to set up all the devices and information it needs for your ad to run. So if I want to start paying it today, then it won't start until the 4th of January, which is fine because, it is what it is. And then we can set an end date. Now this is going to be dependent on running your campaign as quickly as possible or spread the campaign evenly over its duration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up for a 2-month run. So I'm going to click on the end and I'm going to change that to March 5th. Looks like a good wholesome number to me. Lifetime budget. This is the amount of money that you could plan on putting into the campaign overall throughout the next, however long you set. I am going to run it for $100. There we go. Now the pacing, you can get them to get as many run as quickly as possible. So its purpose is to get as many clicks as you possibly can within a very short period of time. Personally, I'm going to see what happens when you spread the campaign evenly over its duration, so across the next 2 months. Then we're going to scroll down and find our products. Now I've already added one product when I was messing around with this earlier, and that's the ebook. Unfortunately, you can't do it for paperbacks, probably because it's an e-reader. You're not going to sell your paperbacks to Kindle and Fire users. But if you haven't done this, you'll have a little button here that says Add, and you can click on that and it'll throw it over here. Now you can take these off by hitting the X button, and then you can re-add it. And if you have more ebooks, you can toss those in there as well. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to do the interest targeting. Now here's the fun part. We're trying to target specific people looking for this type of book. Now, it's a freelance writing helper, self-help depression book. So I don't know exactly how to deal with all that. So I'm going to try to see if I can find the best targeted categories possible. Okay, given the categories that are available, I think these are probably going to be the best for my type of book. So I'm not expecting like a major huge return out of this, but we won't know until sometime in March. So now we're going to scroll down to our bidding. Now this is the email. So this is the how much you're willing to spend per click. That's anytime anybody clicks the ad to visit the page. Now this doesn't necessarily mean you'll make any sales. It's just the per click cost. I'm going to put this at 25 cents. Now your maximum bid can only be 100 times your budget has to be 100 times your bid, which means if you only use $100, your bid can't exceed $1. Now, the higher your bid, the more chances your book is going to be shown to more people. So you gotta kind of play the numbers a little bit. I'm only using 25 cents. I have to sell at least 30 copies before this campaign is actually breaking even. So I'm gonna cross my fingers with 25 cents and see what happens. Now the creative text is where you put in your custom text that will show up on the screen. And I already wrote mine. It can only be up to 150 characters. So I decided to use a little bit of SEO knowledge and toss in some key phrases that are relevant to my book, as well as something that might trigger somebody to buy it. So in this case, I can just copy and paste my text. And that's going to show you exactly what it looks like. So on a Kindle, you can see my whole book here, and it got the text there. Then they can just tap the button there to read now, or they can see it on the books that are available in the Kindle. Now for the Fire, you can see that it shows up on the Fire tablet in 2 different ways. And for me, that looks good. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to hit Submit for Review. Okay, now Amazon's going to review the ad that I set up to make sure everything is legit before it even starts running. So it didn't ask me how much I needed, or asked me for a bank account, so I'm wondering if they bill you at the end of it. But it says review can take up to 72 hours, so that would be almost pointless if it starts on the 4th, because then it won't show up until like Wednesday. So why even ask for 2 days ahead of time? I mean, if you're set up for today, they should have it defaulting for the 5th. I don't know. But they told me that it was going to take 72 hours to publish my book, and it actually took less than 4. So who knows what Amazon's doing. So that's how easy it is to set up a Lockscreen ad. Now the biggest part you have to worry about is probably your bid and your custom text, because you have to convince somebody to actually buy the book. And then your bid obviously is how much you're willing to spend per click. Now the higher bid will get in front of more eyes quicker, but it also means you have to spend more money at it. So you got to figure out the best balance for your ads. If you're used to using something like Google Ads, then this is pretty much how it runs. The higher the bid, the better. But it also means that you're spending more money. And right now for this first book, I mean, it's just the story of how I got started as a freelance writer while dealing with depression. It's not like groundbreaking information, but it might be entertaining for somebody else. So in the long run, I'm really not expecting a lot out of this deal, but I will do a follow-up video in March, and we'll see how well the ad does. Who knows, I might be able to double my money. That would be kind of nice. And if you are interested in the story of my writing career, my book is available on Amazon in both ebook and paperback, and you can click on it in the description down below. So what kind of methods are you planning on marketing your ebook? What kind of methods do you have planned for marketing your paperback? I'm actually debating on getting another formatting tool and then selling the ebook directly off my website, because that'll cut out the middleman, and I'll be able to give discounts to whoever I want. Amazon is kind of anal when it comes to that. Unless you're enrolled in the KDP Select program, in order to run a promotion of dropping your book price, you have to actually go into your book and set the price manually and then wait for it to go through, and then remember to go back and change it again. So it's kind of a pain in the ass unless you're part of the Select program, but I don't want to do that because that'll restrict where I can sell my book. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens when I sign up with Barnes & Noble this week. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about self-publishing, freelance writing, WordPress, text broker, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next time.